Hi, I'm McKay Bauer-Mills, and I am the president of the Alumni Association of MICDS.
And I'm Steve Hughes, the incoming president of the Alumni Association.
And we are so happy to welcome Jay Rainey to have a little conversation.
So we just want to get a chance to get to know you a little bit better from the alumni perspective, and want to know, as you leave where you've been coming from, what kind of traditions have you been a part of, or what kind of things have you done at other schools?
Right. Probably the traditions that I love the most are the opening and closing convocation ceremonies. The senior kindergarten buddy program is beloved at the school. Typically there are about 2 seniors for every kindergarten student, and so what happens in the opening convocation ceremony is that the 2 seniors will walk in their kindergarten buddy between them, holding them the way parents will a child. Sometimes the kindergartner likes to be lifted up and swing, right, a little bit sometimes. And so they are symbolically welcoming them to our school by walking them into that ceremony. And then quite touchingly, at the end of the year, the kindergarten student, at the end of the closing convocation ceremony, walks out his or her senior buddies to, wish them well as they begin the next chapter of their lives.
Oh, that's
neat.
That's a wonderful tradition.
It's a great way to really build school spirit and make the kindergartners feel part of the bigger campus.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We obviously have a lot of Marion Institute alums. We have a lot of Country Day alums and MICDS alums. They live in St. Louis. They live all over.
Right.
In what ways have you enjoyed connecting with alums at your past schools?
What strikes me is how different experiences define different eras in the life of a school. And so students who went through an independent school in the 50s versus the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, they tend to have different memories, different faculty that they recall with affection, different traditions that were current at their time at the school. That's what I enjoy about alumni events, is that, of course, schools are ever evolving, and they must be ever evolving. They must remain current and relevant and sustainable into the future, and they need to be doing the very best work they can be doing for today's students. But to balance that with honoring the past and honoring traditions, determining which traditions are most valuable and inclusive and wonderful and celebratory, I think the alumni play a key role in helping a school understand what that balance is.
Right.
And when I became aware of this opportunity, one of the very first things I took in was just the age of Marion Institute and Country Day School and their history apart and together. The fact that Mary I was founded by T.S. Eliot's grandfather is a point that I made in the letter that I wrote to the search committee when I indicated I was interested in the position. I'm a recovering English teacher. I love T.S. Eliot. But I love really, in American terms, what an old city St. Louis is, and an important city. And I think the history of the school tracks the history of St. Louis. All of that is very meaningful to me, and I feel very lucky to be coming to a school with such a rich heritage.
What are you most excited about as you embark on this new adventure?
I'm most excited about the people, which, as I say, it sounds almost like a kind of generic answer, but I love the people that I've met at this school. I love the passion that they have for the school, the pride they have in the school. I love the range of students who are here, the enormous number of zip codes from which MICDS draws, and its strong reputation, the great number of colleges and universities to which MICDS graduates matriculate. This is a place that takes education very seriously, and I feel like my principal responsibility is to continue to build love and affection for the school by making the experience of every student here as rich as it can be.
And do you have questions for us as super alumni representatives?
Absolutely. I mean, I don't know that I'd have questions for just any old alumni representatives, but super alumni representatives. Yeah. Well, I would just ask you, what traditions have you loved here? And even over time, have they changed at all? Have you, would that answer have been different 20 years ago, perhaps, or have things evolved?
One of the traditions that I loved was chapel at Marion Institute, because it was a time as a young student to be in the same space with the seniors, and you looked up to the older students, and so I think that is something that the school continues to do. They logistically, it's not able to happen as often as it did when I was here. But my children, when they've had an all-student assembly, come home all excited to tell me about being in the same space with all the students. So it's a real unifier, I think.
And I like how we throw the first senior into the lake who gets into college, that sort of thing.
Yes, I've heard about that.
And then we've added to it where we now have the boat races, which they didn't have back in my day. So so they're using the campus space better. And and I always tell people when I would give tours that the cool thing about MICDS is the stuff that shouldn't change never will, and the things that needed to have. And so I feel like that's why it's such a great place, and we're glad to have you.
Yeah. What is your favorite memory of your time at MICDS?
It's funny, the first thing that pops in my mind is Troubadours, which is the upper school musical. And as a junior, I was in Bye Bye Birdie, and I got to tell you, that was awesome. It just, first of all, it was a great way to spend organized, structured time with the ladies from MICD, or sorry, from Mary I at the time. And it just was such a great bonding time as well. And so that's the first thing that pops into mind, although I also say I was part of the first team to win state boys in swimming. So that was kind of cool too.
I'm also a swimmer.
So what stroke?
I was sprint, butterfly, and freestyle.
Okay, see, I did butterfly as well. I thought it's because I lost a bet, because that's tough. That's a tough.
I was backstroke.
You can always breathe the whole time.
In backstroke.
Nicely done.
That's well done.
Okay,
I was
so 3
afraid
swimmers.
of that.
Let's get in there. All right,
there we go. That's right.
We're going to present you with 3 desserts, famous St. Louis desserts.
Okay.
Gooey butter cake, Ted Drew's frozen custard, and Dad's famous oatmeal cookies.
Okay.
And we'd like you to try them and then tell us which one you prefer. And we'll just leave it at that.
All right.
It's a big decision.
Okay.
Look at that.
I know.
This looks very, very good.
Okay.
So are we going to...
We should do this all together. So let's start with the Ted Drew's, right, all together.
Right, very nice. Just a little sample.
Oh.
It's quite creamy.
This is very good ice cream. I'm going to need another bite just to be
I think
sure.
you should hold back on that. Yeah,
Okay.
So what are we doing next? We're doing gooey butter?
Gooey butter, thank you. I was trying to remember.
We're not really
Gooey
sure
butter.
how that got its name. We could Google that somehow.
Okay, here we go. Oh, it's so good. This is extraordinary.
It's really delicious, isn't it?
Okay, here we go. This is very...
Yeah.
This is an exceptionally good set of comestibles.
Nice, good English word as well. Very nicely done from the English teacher.
Okay.
And just know there will be love and appreciation no matter which way you go.
There's
But
no
we're
right
just
answer.
curious.
So here's what I will say. So this is perhaps the best ice cream I've ever had, and this is certainly one of the best cookies I've ever had.
Quite good, yes.
But gooey butter cake is to me different in kind.
True.
Like, I don't know that I've ever had anything quite like this. Sort of like almost like a lemon square, but not really, right? You know,
Correct.
as far as like connecting it to something I've had before.
Yeah.
So I will say the gooey butter cake is my
Well played.
Yeah.
choice. Yeah,
And the best part about gooey butter
Right.
is it's actually a breakfast food.
that's so good
Isn't that
to know.
amazing?
Amazing.
Well, this has been wonderful. I
Thank
really
you so
love
much.
talking to you both.
Yeah,
Thank
same
you.
here.
And thanks for everything you do for MICDS. I know it's such an important work. I look forward to working with you both.
Same here.
It'll be fun.